Hello, Ken Spriggs here doing an unboxing and a review video of the brand new Polar Lights Star Trek Discovery ship, the 2500 from Round 2 Polar Lights. Really excellent kit. It comes out to be about 12 inches when complete. And I ordered mine online from culttvman.com. Highly recommend their site. It's really excellent. I had it pre-ordered, came in on Wednesday. I paid for it and I have it today on Friday. So really quick shipping. Thanks a lot, Steve Iverson and your staff. You always do a great job on your products. So, all right, let's go ahead and take a look at this awesome first ship from Polar Lights for the Discovery TV show of Star Trek. All right, so here is the just released Round 2 Polar Lights version of the Star Trek Discovery spaceship in 1/2500 scale. This is the first ship that they've released for the Discovery show. It's pretty awesome, especially the incredible decals that come with it, which Round 2 is well known for. They have incredibly detailed decals for all the Aztecing and the detail, that sort of thing. So, okay, so just to kind of show you the general box, you have a cool picture on the front. You have another picture on the side of it. Just some other ones there. On this side, you have a picture of the kit on its little stand and the two decal sheets, a small version of them. On the back of it, you have a little bit more information about it. 28 parts. It's molded in color, and I'll show you that in a minute. It comes out to be nearly 12 inches long, which is pretty decent size. I know there's some talk about them releasing a 1/1000 version, which would be even larger, but it's a pretty sizable ship. So I don't know if they'd do much bigger than that. It'd be still pretty big. Let's go ahead and get it open, and we'll take a look at the parts inside and the sprue and the decals. Okay. All right. So here is the inside parts. We're going to start with the instructions. Not super complicated, so I'm not going to go over all of those. They open up, and then you have just two sheets in the back, so pretty straightforward. It is a snap tight kit, but you might want to glue some of the parts. On the back of it, there are a few instructions about some of the decals. If you want to do the alternate versions, like their sister ship, the USS Glenn, or the Mirror Universe, or just the regular Discovery, there were a few differences that you would do. Mostly the registries and the pennants, that sort of thing. Okay, so pretty straightforward instructions. All right, and then actually before I get to that, we just have your basic stand. One of their domes. It's not a dome, it's more of the little curved, very much reminiscent of the Polar Lights Discovery bottoms, except it's wider. A little ball joint that goes into a slot so it can move around on it. So pretty basic on that. You could probably use a lot of their other stands as well if you want to use a rounded one. Maybe have room for a battery underneath it. So, okay. There's a pretty nice clear sprue that they have with it. It comes with two flat inserts for the nacelles that I guess would show some clear on the sides and the back of the engine. I'm not sure how well you could light that up, but possibly. I do want to potentially light up some of the things on this kit, like the Bassard collectors, maybe the antenna array, the bridge, possibly. I think these other two slots, I'm not quite, these little pieces, I'm not sure where those go, possibly on the nacelles. You have these really cool little parts with a lot of detail in them. These are the rear impulse engines. They're clear, so those could be lit up in red, which is cool. And I'll show a close-up of each of these at the end of it. You have the pretty complex looking Bussard collectors. They have like a rounded part in the middle and some other rounded ones on the sides. Kind of interesting, but that's all clear as well. You have the antenna array, which has a part that comes out of the center, which isn't clear. And then you have the bottom and the top for the bridge, which are pretty neat. And I'll show you the bridge here in a second. It has some openings that the clear can go through. So it's really well detailed. So really nice clear sprue. All right, and then other than the clear and the base, you only have 3 sprues for the entire kit. So you have, this one has the bottom of the secondary hull. You have the bottom of the saucer. You have these 2 parts which go in the back of the secondary hull, and you have openings for the impulse engines, the clear ones that I showed. So if you wanted to light those, you'd be doing a little bit of modification there. Okay. All right. And then this kit is molded in a it's like a dark gold or a titanium color. It's kind of interesting. So it really wouldn't need to be painted, I don't think, especially with the decals. And but what I'll probably do is put it together, do any lighting, and then put a gloss coat on it, so it'll accept all the intricate decals, and then put a flat over top of it. So, okay. All right. And then the next sprue has the top of the secondary hull, which is really nicely detailed. Lots of detail in there. Lots of raised sections. I think the decals are going to be a little tricky. Definitely going to want to use some Solvaset to get those to settle down in there. You have the top of the saucer section. Tiny little piece here, which is kind of the antenna part of the antenna array that's clear. You have this back piece, which is another part of the impulse engine, I guess, but that's solid, so that wouldn't really light up. And then you have the top and the bottom of the little arm with the ball at the end that goes down through on the saucer, and the ball is in the center of that hole in the middle, which is really cool. And this has some really intricate little detailing in it that the clear sticks through, so that's pretty cool. That's going to be a nice feature, especially if you have that lit up. Okay. And then the last sprue is the nacelles. There's a pretty decent detail on those as well. They're very flat though, and especially at the end, you're literally clear sandwiched between the 2 ends, so there's not really any room for some major lighting of that. So I'm not sure what could be done with that. I don't know if you put a light on the end of that clear piece, if it would channel it out, possibly. So that's an idea. There is sizable space in the front that you could put some SMDs in there, so we'll see. Definitely enough room to do a small one for the Bussard collector, which wouldn't be too bad. You have the little small neck for the saucer to go up from the secondary hull. This ship is very, very flat. Very thin height for that neck, and then the nacelles are pretty much just straight out on the flat secondary hull. So this ship is really, really flat. The saucer just sticks up just a tiny bit. So very unique design. I really like it. So, okay. All right. And then the last part, which I really love a lot, are the intricate decals. And I'll kind of show them just in this close-up here, and then I'll get a closer shot and show you the details, as well as the other parts in the sprue. So you have the secondary hull. There's 2 different sheets. Some really, really detailed, delicate detail on the tops of it, the bottom, the sides. Over here, the nacelles have their own decaling. Really, really nice detailing. A lot of metallics. You've got some silvers, some dark copper, this really dark gray. These are little inserts here, which have some color in them, which are really cool. So quite a nice decal sheet, for sure. All right, and then you have the top that has the saucer sections, top and bottom, and then the bottom of the secondary hull, I believe, and then you probably have ones for the neck. These parts go on the secondary hull as well. Really nice detailing, little tiny windows in the dark sections of the copper. That's going to look beautiful. Some silver, very awesome metallic silver registry, NCC 1031 for the Discovery. And again, you have the Glen and you have the ISS Discovery. So really, really detailed, really quality decal set. And I'll show these close up here in a second. So, all right, so very pleased with that. Let me go ahead and show you a few close-ups of the sprues and the decals for this kit. All right. All right, and here are some close-ups of the decal sheets. See how close I can get. You can see little tiny windows. All the little tiny Aztecing. That's really beautiful. See if I can get an angle on it. You can see, yeah, you can see how metallic that is. There's a lot of different metallics in there for the Aztecing, which is really cool. So that's going to be beautiful. Sorry. You have the bottom, you have a lot of the coppers, more of the silvers. You can see that metallic showing in there. Even some tiny little registries. All right, so quite a lot of detail. You have the bottom, well, the secondary hull. Look at that piece right there. That's just beautiful. The really dark coppers. Again, I'm trying to get a shot of that metallic in there. That's really cool. Look at that detailing. You got these little parts, sorry, which have some blue in there. I think that's probably around the antenna array. I think these parts right here are for the neck, I believe. Some more little windows in those. It's quite extensive. Really nice decals. Quite excellent. All right, let me show you close-ups of the sprues as well. All right, so you have the saucer sections, which have a little bit of detail in between these parts here. And I like that they kept most of it just flat because you're going to have decals on there anyway. Too much detail would be a problem. You have the bottom of that little sphere in the center for the bridge. Has a little round clear part in the bottom of it. You have the top of it, and that has really nice intricate detail in it that the clear sticks through. And the clear is actually sectioned. I'll show you here in a second so that it'll fit up into those little spines. Okay. You have the top of the secondary hull, and that's got some pretty cool little detailing in it. You got this part that goes on the back. It's got a lot of detail. I believe that goes right in the back here. All right. Then you have the bottom of the saucer. There's some little bits of detail sticking up right there at the bottom. On the sides. Not quite as much detail on the bottom of the secondary hull, but there is a little bit. It's kind of cool. You have those impulse engine parts, and you have a clear part that goes in there to the right. There's two of those. Okay. And I didn't show you on the top one that little teeny antenna piece. It's very small. That goes in the clear antenna array. It sticks out from there. Okay, you have the neck. Again, nice and flat, so the decals will go on. You have the nacelles, which are pretty plain, so I'm not going to show too much of those. Okay. And finally, you have the clear parts, which are really nice. So there's the bridge, and you can see that it has some sectioned bits of plastic that will stick up through that spine in the solid part. You have the antenna array, and that has a solid part sticking out of the middle of it. You have the bottom clear for the dome for the bridge. Okay, there are your nacelle parts, which are fairly complex. Those might be a little tricky as far as painting around the parts that you want to light up, because I don't think you want the whole thing lighting up. And then you have those flat parts that go into the nacelles, and most of it is just sandwiched in between it. They're pretty thin, but it kind of looks like you could do something on that end. You have a fairly solid or thicker piece right there, and it gradually gets thinner towards the end of it. You probably could put a light on this end of it, and it may just illuminate it enough. I'll have to play with it and see. That would be a little trickier to do. And then I'm not sure what these two parts right here are. I'll have to look at the instructions, but you have the ridged, the detailed impulse engines, which are really nice. Those would look pretty cool lit up in red. All right. All right, so overall, a pretty nice kit. I really like it. Nice price point, like around 30 bucks, give or take. All right. All right, so a really excellent kit. I'm going to be building that here shortly, and I'll be uploading a video showing the build of it. I do have some time left. It should be a pretty quick build, especially with the decals. That will help with having to worry about the painting. So a few ideas with some lighting, and I'm hoping to have this one complete as well to take with me to Wonderfest at the end of May and early June. All right, well, thank you again to all my subscribers and all my new subscribers, and stay tuned, and I will be showing the build of this kit here probably in a good couple of weeks. All right, thanks a lot.